Hey guys, Retired at 40. Today we have some smoked fish. It just came off the smoker. We're going to see how this reconstitutes and get a cost while we're at it. So my fish is pre-frozen. I like to stick it in the deep freeze before I freeze dry it. If you want the recipe on how to smoke this fish on the smoker, check out my video, and while you're there, take a moment to subscribe and make sure you click the bell to get notifications. I think since everything is pre-frozen, I think we're just going to stay with the default time, which is 9 hours of freeze time and 7 hours of final dry. Make sure you check out my video on suggested dry times for other common foods. No video would be complete without the kilowatt hours used, so we can get a cost analysis and add it into our cost of the fish. Alright, the process is complete. 23 hours and 28 minutes. And our kilowatt is showing 13.6 kilowatt hours. Let's get this pulled out of here and see what it looks like. Well, at first glance you can't really even tell the difference between freeze-dried and not freeze-dried. But just like everything that's freeze-dried, once you touch it you can definitely tell. It did get very hard, I would say, and it seemed like it shrunk up quite a bit. But from the perspective of being able to not have to refrigerate this or for food storage, I would say this is going to work really well. For me, I'm looking for something that I can take backpacking or hiking or camping. It seems to taste just fine. Let's see how it rehydrates. So as proof of how well the freeze dryer works, especially with meats, it's actually been a couple months since I shot that last clip. And I've actually vacuum sealed this into a ball jar. I'll put a link for the video above here. I want to show you how good this works. It's just as good as the day I put it in a couple months ago. And it's ready for rehydration. And just in case you don't believe me, here's the little chunk that I tore off right here. Rehydrating anything that's in the HARVESTRIGHT is a little tricky sometimes. Meat is no exception. So I'm going to try this a couple different ways if I have to. The first way I'm going to put a little bit of water in the bottom and then just put a damp paper towel over the top. And I'm going to stick it in the microwave for just a couple minutes and see what happens. Okay, we're going to do 1 minute. See what happens. Needs just a little bit more. So I'm going to do 1 more minute. Still a little tough, but you can see all the water is actually absorbed now. So I think I'm going to put a little bit more water in it and maybe stick it in there for a little bit longer. Okay, so it's been in the microwave a total of... And then I kind of just let it chill in this warm pocket here for about another 5 or 6 minutes just to kind of soak up that moisture. And I think it did the trick this time. Yep, it's nice and tender. This is smoked fish, so it does have kind of a crust on the outside of it. But yeah, it's really good. Turned out really good. Now that we successfully rehydrated this, let's see what the cost is going to be. So I figured you can use about 10 to 15 pounds of fish when you're freeze drying, and the cost can vary quite a bit. It can either be free if you're catching it, or up to probably about $70 if you're using salmon or something similar. The process of this used about 13.5 kilowatt hours, and at 10 cents per kilowatt hour at the national average, so that's $1.35. That brings our total cost to either $1.35 if you caught your fish, or up to $71.35 if you're using an expensive fish like salmon. Well, I didn't end up having to do my plan B, and that's probably a good thing because I don't even know what it was. This is Retired at 40. Remember to live life simple. We'll catch you next time.